Hi Zari, how's it going? I want to make you this video in regards to your new diet plan or your new food plan. Now with this video I'm also going to send you by email some of my fat pictures of what I used to look like before. And I think it's important that you see that just so that way you have a good idea as to what I used to look like. Because, you know, one of the common questions that people tend to ask is, well, do these new ideas work? And my ideas aren't mine. You know, I've had a chance to use these from other people that have taught me how to get myself into better shape or how to transform my body, basically manipulate my body to do whatever I want it to do. Gain more weight, gain more muscle, add more fat, lose more fat, all the above, almost to whenever I want those things to happen. And it took some time. It wasn't something that just happened overnight. But now that I've gotten good at doing that and understanding how that works, now it's simple. So I share that with you because I want you to have that ability too. Whether you want to add more pounds, add more muscle, lose more pounds, put muscle in certain areas, lose fat in certain areas, whatever the case is, 70% of that result always comes from diet, right? Only 30% comes from the workout portion. So the better that you know about food in general, just generalizing, the better result you're going to have in terms of how you want to transform and shape your body. So I wanted to mention real quick, if you can, before we move on, please do me a favor, pause this video and grab yourself a sheet of paper. Okay, grab something to write with, because I'm going to give you a bunch of good points that I don't want you to try to commit to memory. I've got a lot of things I want to share with you. Hence the reason why I was having a hard time writing it out in detail, because I did not want to write you a novel, obviously. But I never want to hold back. I always want to give you the best of what I have. Okay? So go ahead and grab that sheet of paper now and pause this video. I'll wait for you. Okay, so I'm assuming that you got your sheet of paper. I'm assuming you got your pen. Here's the breakdown in terms of your meal plan. Okay? Before I tell you what to eat, let me tell you the times to eat. You always want to make sure that whenever you're eating, a couple of things to keep in mind, okay? Whatever large portions of food that you might normally have, I don't know how big your meals are, but I am judging or guessing based on most of the people that I interact with. You want to have meals that are roughly no bigger than the size of a little bit more, well, not your fist, but like if you open your hand, each meal should look about that big, okay? Because this size, or the fist, is a representation of the size of your stomach. This is just a little bit more, right? This is actually more, in my opinion, a little bit more of a fuller size. So if you grasp your hands like this, like open fingers, the volume of this is about how much, in terms of food portions, you want to have per serving. And it's important not to have anything much bigger than that, because the more food that we eat in one sitting, the larger the tummy expands. So please keep that in mind, okay? Number two, you always want to eat an average of 6 meals a day. Now that's tough for most people, because let's face it, you work, I work, we work, life just gets busy, it's tough to do. So I'll give you some tips on that, but just remember that your meals are only about this big. So I shouldn't even call them meals, better to call them snacks. Right? You want to have 6 snacks throughout the day. And the last thing I want to ask you to write down, hope you're writing all these down, please do, is that the last meal that you want to have at the end of the day, if you want a reduction in body fat, slimmer tummy, tighter, toner legs and arms, all that stuff that most women that I speak to naturally ask me to help them with, this is important as well. The cutoff time for food every single day should be roughly about 8 p.m. or a minimum of 4 hours before bed. So if you fall asleep naturally around midnight, then 8 p.m. is the last bite of food that should go into your mouth at least 5 days a week. Okay, it doesn't have to be all 7. So for example, if you go out on the weekends, you know, spend some time with the girlfriends, or if you're on a date, or if you're doing something with your life where you got to eat later, that's okay. You're allowed 2 days out of the week to do that. But the remaining 5 days, you got to cut off food by 8 p.m., which can be tough for most people, but there's a way around it to make it easy. And I'll teach you how in just a sec. All right? So now we've got that section out of the way, let's talk about the kind of foods that you ultimately need to avoid. That's the second thing. What kind of foods not to touch. Okay? The most important thing when it comes to weight and body transformation is to avoid anything that is white. So white bread, white sugar, white flour, white pasta, so white rice, white spaghetti, white bread, what else is there? White sugar, white anything. Okay, and the reason why it's so important to avoid it is because most people don't know this, but when you eat food that has white in it, white pasta, white sugar, white flour, anything, the moment that you swallow that food and it goes into the stomach, that food, that white portion of the food only needs less than 1 hour. I've heard as little as 20 minutes, I've heard as much as 45 minutes. In order for your body to digest it, to process it, and to stick it on some part of your body as stored body fat. See, that's why it's called a simple sugar or a simple carbohydrate. It's because the body can absorb it and transform it really, really quickly. So quickly that even if you're working out 6 or 7 days a week, your body doesn't have enough time to burn it and use it as a fuel source before it turns into body fat, or aka stored energy. Okay, so you want to avoid all whites. Now, does that mean that you can't have pasta and rice and bread and all that stuff? No, you can still have it, but you have to replace it with brown bread, brown sugar, brown pasta, brown rice, brown, all that stuff. Now, the reason why, amongst several reasons, one of the main reasons is because brown anything can take an average of 2 to 4 hours to digest, to process, and to use as energy or to become stored as fat. Meaning that if you're working out on a regular basis, your body has time to burn that as a fuel source for your metabolism to attack it and use it and keep your energies high and use that as something to keep you energetic throughout the day, versus what happens with white, which is, again, you eat it and then boom, it just gets stuck somewhere in your body. And that's physically what happens with people who eat candy or white bread or anything that's white pasta, or they put white sugar in their coffee. All that stuff, that's what contributes to looser skin or to body fat showing up in places where we don't even know why or how it got there. So if you just do that one thing alone, you'll already start to notice a rapid change. Okay, so please make a note of that. Ask yourself, what things do you consume on a daily basis or on a weekly basis that has white, and what can you replace that white with? So you're not necessarily giving up something, but you're just trading. You're trading something good that tastes good for something that's even better for you. That's not a bad deal, right? So please make a note of that. Okay. Now, in terms of how you should be eating, in terms of actual meal plan breakdown, please write down this. The first thing that you got to do as soon as you wake up in the morning, okay, as soon as you wake up in the morning, you've got to make sure that before all else, you drink at least 1 glass of pure filtered water, not tap water. It's got to be filtered water. And the reason why is because water helps all of your internal organs operate at a high functional level. It allows your metabolism to operate correctly. It allows your liver and kidney to process whatever things that you ingest throughout the day much more efficiently. Your body's like an engine, and the water just allows that engine to run smoother. So first thing in the morning, you've got to be able to drink a glass of water, okay? Now, after 10 to 15 minutes, let me backtrack. With that water, please take a slice, if it's in a glass, take a slice of lemon and drop that slice of lemon into your glass of water. Now, lemon, after you slice it, if you leave it overnight, sometimes the water tastes stale, right? So what I'd suggest you do is leave your water in the fridge, maybe put it in a cup, a big cup. And when you wake up in the morning, stick your cup in the microwave if you have one, and just run it for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, so it's warm water, so it's not freezing cold when you first wake up. And then drink that water because the lemon in the water helps your water become more alkaline. And you need an alkaline body, because an alkaline body versus an acidic body, an alkaline body just naturally lets more body fat just naturally fall off your body. Literally, that's just the way our bodies work. Okay, so after you have your lemon water first thing in the morning, you'll want to wait 10 to 20 minutes, and then you'll want to consume 30 grams of protein. 30. Okay, you want to consume an average of 30 grams of protein within the first 30 minutes of waking up. There's a study done by Mr. Tim Ferriss, who's this really famous business owner, business writer, body transformation specialist. I mean, the guy's he's a young genius, literally. And what he discovered through a test run that he did with over 500 people, a lot of them being ladies, is that the average person that was trying to lose weight without doing that was dropping an average of 4 pounds a month. Yet by adding on just that one little thing, just that one factor of eating 30 grams of protein and within 30 minutes of waking up, they were losing 3 times as much. They're averaging 12 to 15 pounds of weight loss per month just through that one simple change. So for you, I remember you mentioned that you still have your protein powder. That's a perfect start in the day, to start off your day with a protein shake. Just make sure that you have 30 grams in there for the morning. Whip it up, put in some water, put in some fresh fruit, and away you go. Outside of that, another good source for protein in the morning is eggs. Make sure that you eat your eggs, okay? So just eat a lot of eggs, preferably not with the yolk, because it does raise cholesterol levels a little bit. I personally have maybe for every 10 eggs, I'll leave 2 yolks in there just so it still has some flavor to it. But definitely do that if you run out of protein powder or if you just want to change it up, right? Now, with that, when you go to work, please chop up a bunch of fruits and vegetables. I personally love chopping up apples and pears, and for vegetables, I like chopping up carrots. And what I'll do is I'll have them in little containers, and I'll snack on those throughout the day. Now, I also bring my protein shake with me because I love convenience. I'm a convenience guy. I love living a convenient lifestyle. Even if it means that it's a little bit more expensive to live it, I'll do it because I'm just at that phase of my life where I really value and appreciate convenience. So I'll have a few stacks of plastic containers full of apples and strawberries and oranges, and I'll have that ready. And as soon as I get to work, I'll throw that in the fridge, and away I go. I'll just make sure that you do that for yourself every single day. Celery is great, and you can use some dressing for it, but snack on that every day, as well as some brown rice for some energy. And if you have time, whip up some chicken breasts of any kind. Usually I'll just boil some chicken breasts and I'll leave it plain. And then if I want it to be more flavorful, I'll put maybe just a dash of salt or a little bit of lemon and or sometimes some vinaigrette, some stuff that I use for salads. I'll actually put that into my salads as well. So in terms of what to eat, just to sum up this 13-minute talk, first thing in the morning, have your glass of water. Second thing, make sure you consume 30 grams of protein within the first 30 minutes. And then every 2 to 3 hours, open up one of your plastic containers full of apples and strawberries and oranges and celery and carrots and nibble on that throughout the day. Better to eat 6 small portions throughout the day than to eat 3 big meals that expand your stomach, that'll make you tired, and that'll also slow down your metabolism. Is it an adjustment? Yes, it is. Is it something new to the body? Yes, it is. Is it going to take a little bit of work to preset it? Yes. You'll probably want to preset that the night before you go to work, which only takes about maybe 5 minutes to do, just to cut and put it into a container. But I promise you, if you'll discipline yourself to do that, you'll notice a rapid change in your body. Rapid change. Probably faster than you might even expect it to be. And I say that as from personal experience because I did not expect my body to change as fast as it did. In the first 27 days, I lost 12 pounds. And it was more than 12 pounds because I gained a whole bunch of muscle as well. And I'll show you my before and after pictures, unless you've already seen it right now. Additionally, from your fruits and vegetables, always have yourself a little thing of brown rice, a little container, and always, not always, but whenever you can, whip up some chicken breasts or some pieces of thin steak and just have that in separate containers too. So when you go to work every day, you'll actually have a couple of containers with, fruits and vegetables in one, and then your meats in the other, and maybe some brown rice in your third. But if you keep the containers small, and they're not very, they're very portable, they're very easy to carry around, and it's just worth it versus having to do what most people do, which is run to the store, grab something cheap and quick, and then regret it later because it shows up on their stomach or it shows up on their butt. Okay? I'll leave off with a couple of suggestions in terms of salads, in terms of meal plans from other people who I've followed. And basically for you, just pick and choose how you want to put that all together. But that sums it up. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope this has been helpful for you, and if there's any parts that I've missed, please, if you're unsure about anything, just reach out to me and say, Alan, I didn't get this part. I'm more than happy to try to accommodate you and try to help you however I possibly can. Okay, Zari? Have yourself a great afternoon, a great day. Thanks for listening in, and I'll talk to you soon.